Hey guys, it's HITTHEPANDA here, and today I'm going over one of my old students' 180-man hand histories, and I'm going to try and look at all the spots and see what's going on and try and show you guys how to crush these, because these are really great for bankroll building, and a lot of people that play these are just really bad, and they're quick, and you can mass a bunch of them. They're pretty nice, so it's nice to know how to be able to beat them, because they're definitely good stuff to have on the side when you're playing MTTs, or just if you want to grind out a sit and go session. So let's get started here. I'm going to focus on making it a little bit faster here to start off. Just in the beginning stages, I'm not trying to do much besides just play pretty tight. You really don't need to mix up anything in these. Just the people that play these are just absolutely terrible, and you should just really be playing very tight. I'm talking like folding ace-jack, unless you're in late position, in my opinion anyway. I mean, it's pretty much going to be really profitable just to play really nitty until you get down to like 50, 100, and then you can just open shove and then rake in chips that way, because people won't call correctly, or have someone call your 15 big blind shove under the gun with ace-10 because they think ace-10 is good, but you'll have ace-king or something. So obviously there's a lot of psych-outs in these as well, but you're going to have to get through that because it's definitely worth it. I'm actually just going to kind of look through these hands. Let's see, king-jack, yeah, just fold it. Let's see what he did with ace-king. We have a... Yeah, I don't mind this one bit. In these you have to play a completely different game than you would in an MTT. There's like 180, 210, 255 in the pot. It's a decent amount in the pot as it is. You don't have to make any not weird, but any 3-bet that someone might flat call, and then you're faced with a really crappy decision on the flop, and this shove is just as likely to get called by worse as a 3-bet, so definitely fine with just shipping it in. And you can ship it in, with ace-queen here. I just fold ace-jack, no reason to play it, fold pretty much everything. If you have jacks, you can probably ship it in. You could just probably flat call most pairs and set mine here, and other than that, you can just fold. Everyone folds, not a big deal. Let's go a little bit faster through here, and let's move it up to ace-9 clubs. And yeah, I just folded this. Really nitty. Okay, jack, some raise, shove, either way. It's fine. Let's see what happened here. Everyone folds. Okay, go. And yeah, that's fine. See that. Nothing wrong there. If this guy's been limping a lot, and this isn't like his first limp or something, you can just shove it, and a lot of the time anyway, people are just going to be so bad where it's going to be fine to shove it in here anyway. Stacks are a little bit above 10 big blinds effective. He's obviously got less than 10 big blinds, but I'm not really just going to say that this is aces unless he had not played a hand in forever and suddenly he's limping, which is why HUD comes in handy in these, just to know what kind of villains you're playing against. But for the most part, shoving it in here is going to be a-okay. But he folds. We'll just see what happens to showdown. Okay, there's no showdown, so he probably had something like aces, who knows. It's fine with the stacks behind, and just ship it in and erase. But notice, he's playing very tight, and that's definitely a good thing in these, because every time he did just run into queens, but for the most part you're going to get paid. And shipping here is fine. You can definitely get into just a massive... Well, the stacks behind he's got the biggest stack, so he's not really shipping for that much, but And for the most part, you can get into a pretty much shipping mode, unless you have like aces or kings, you want to min raise it up because no one's going to notice anyway. But for the most part, a lot of the times it's possible to get flatted or something with something like ace queen or ace jack, and it's usually better just ship it in so you don't have to deal with that post flop. Let's see what happens to the ace jack here. Yeah, it's definitely fold. If he folds, I'd probably end up calling him most of the time unless it's been super tight, but for the most part it's a reshove against him, but definitely a fold once this guy calls. Go to the pocket threes. And yeah, you have to call here just from pot odds in. I mean, you're not necessarily going to be ahead of his range, but he shoves like a little over 4 big blinds, and you're the big blind. The pocket pair, you've got to call any pocket pair there, and probably a lot worse. Fold that. Let's see the a6 here. He ships 6 big blinds or so on the hijack. If you had a read that this guy was like a regular at these stakes and was shoving like any 2 here, as people usually do, then you can reshove the a6 offsuit. But for the most part, if you have no reads, it's okay to fold here, just because people aren't shoving correctly at these low stack sizes. They're going to be shoving tighter than they should, and they're almost waiting a little bit. But if you know that he's capable of shoving as wide as he should there, you could probably reshove a6, and you can also like reshove king jack plus king 10 plus if he's shoving really wide, and probably 4s plus, and maybe 3s plus. But that's why you should either have a HUD or be paying kind of attention to your tables to see if people are shoving a lot or not. Figure out who's playing tighter than they should. Fold that. Let's see what happens with the king queen here. Yeah, that's fine, just ship it in. Ship ace jack here, king queen, full king jack I would assume, and then ship like 7s plus from that position. Let's see what happens with the ace-8 here. Yeah, I'd fold. People who do this 3x thing with that stack, it looks a lot stronger, in my opinion, than if they would just ship. So for the most part, I'm going to give that a little bit more credit if they're just 3xing with 12 big blinds. That's a good fold. Let's see what happens with king jack. Yeah, definitely ship this in here. One off the hijack, I'd ship queen jack as well, queen 10, any pair. Probably fold. If they weren't calling correctly behind, you can shove like some 7-8 suited, 6-7 suited, but I think it might be a little bit close for those from that position. I definitely on the hijack I would, but it's definitely probably okay in these for sure, just because people don't call correctly, so you can definitely widen your shoving ranges. It's called by 8s, wins the race, that's always nice. Let's check out these ace 10 clubs. I don't mind this. He's going to have to fold any of these stacks that shove, but he has to call any of these behind, which is, it's fine. Ace 10 clubs is going to play fine enough, but it's not terrible to fold this either, just because of the stacks behind that you have to call. So either way, it's not bad. Yeah, and then I would just probably ship this flop if it checks to me. Yep, and he folds. See people do stuff like that in these, and you should always just take the aggressive line when possible. And this is probably a fold, just because I'd probably get it in with fours maybe, but this guy really doesn't seem to be, getting it in that wide from what I've seen. I mean, I could be incorrect here, I didn't look at every single hand, but if you feel like they're irregular, then this is probably okay. But for the most part, if they're not, and they're not shoving as wide as you think they should, then you can fold twos here. Yes, ace-6, win another race, always nice. Let's see what happens with the ace-queen. Okay, nothing too crazy there. You can definitely wait around. You don't have to force spots or anything. But here, definitely shipping the ace-jack, 15 big blinds. Fold king-8. Let's see what happens with the ace-7. He goes all in. I would definitely reship here. I'd reship probably king-jack, king-10, probably ace-7 offsuit, ace-6 offsuit probably as well. Depending on how light I thought he was jamming it in here. If I just felt he was jamming any two, then you could probably go any ace. But people usually wait around when they have around 4 big blinds or so, and they know they probably shouldn't have fold equity, but at the same time, he's probably not even thinking about what fold equity is. So, ace-7 here is definitely fine. But he does have a little bit of a tighter hand, which is kind of going back to they kind of like to wait around more so for hands when they're low if it's a bad person. So you gotta be on the lookout for that, because not everyone's gonna be shoving the same ranges, and a lot of the times there are people just be knitting it up and waiting for some kind of good hand, even if they blind down to 3 or 4 big blinds in these.